What up YouTube, it's me, your favourite Steve. How you doing? Hope you're all fine and dandy. This is my weekly wrestling episode, so resellers, see you later. This is my weekly thing where I'm going to do the top and bottom 5 of the week in WWE. This is a bit late, I fell a bit behind. I've just finished watching 205 and wasted an hour of my life, so that was brilliant. I don't think I can watch that show for much longer. I'll go into in depth with it in a minute, as elements of it are in my bottom 5. Right, let's start with that bottom 5 of the week. Number 5, NXT Women's Division. I was watching NXT this week. I enjoy the NXT show. You know, it's short. They have one or two pretty good matches on there, and then the others are pretty just squash matches. But you had a NXT Tag Team Women's match between oh god, I can't remember the names. Peyton Royce and Billie Kay versus Liv Morgan and Aaliyah. It wasn't a knock at them. I know them still training. They're still coming up and getting into the WWE way of wrestling. But I just found it that they're not in the class of the new class of women that are on SmackDown and Raw. And I just found when they did a video package where they were going through the separate ladies that are left in the NXT Women's Division who are going to be potentially fighting Xana. And apart from Xana and maybe that Ember Moon, in my opinion, none of them look particularly ready to be going up to the main roster. I just feel it's a bit of a, you know, the next generation of women wrestlers have got work to do to catch up with the other ones. That's not a knock. Well, it is a knock, but just my opinion. I was struggling to find a bottom 5 this week. Everything was pretty average. And number 4, the Universal Championship situation. Now, I brought this up last week. This isn't so much, I should actually rename it. It's Kevin Owens not wanting a world title rematch. I don't get it. He lost the title. He hasn't had a rematch. He won the US title at WrestleMania, and now it's kind of forgotten. He's the US champion. He's not trying to go for the WWE title. Now he's on SmackDown, which I thought that would be the first thing he'd try and do, but no, he just lost his world title. He had a rematch there, but just decided no, don't want it. Don't want to be WWE champion. I'm okay with getting the US title. If you go back in the day when it was you know, back in the 80s and 90s, you always have Gorilla Monsoon talking about that people want to get that high paycheck. Obviously not nowadays. They just settle with what they got. Number 3. I hate to say this, it's Bray Wyatt. I really hope that Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt shock me at Payback and surprise me. And this match is going to be fantastic. But every time Bray Wyatt comes on my screen, I don't particularly know what he's talking about. And I just think he's turning into, as much as Papa Shango wasn't a big draw back in the day, I just think he's turning to like Papa Shango with all this mystical stuff. And like the Undertaker, yeah, he had mystical kind of elements to his character, but with Bray Wyatt it seems all the time it's like really over the top. It's also, I know this has probably been referenced on a lot of I've read it in places. He doesn't. If he was winning every match, then okay. If he was doing all this mystical stuff and he was winning every match, I'd get it. But he's not. He just seems to chat a lot of gibberish. And I was watching SmackDown this week, and it just seemed to be a lot of talking, not really knowing what the hell he was talking about. And number 2, these number 1 and number 2, I'm difficult on which one to put above the other. But number 2, I'm gonna go with Roman Reigns back after 3 weeks after the beating that he got last week. The first thing that I saw this week when I was watching Raw, Braun Strowman was in the ring and Kurt Angle came out and announced that Roman Reigns was going to be back in 3 weeks to face him at Payback. If you watched my video last week, I said after that beating that was so over the top, Roman should be gone off TV for like 6 months and shouldn't be seen again. And it's not that, he's coming back at the next pay-per-view. Kind of blows my mind that the beating that he took and he's back literally 3 weeks after being pushed off a stretcher while he was strapped to it and being in an ambulance and got tipped over onto its side, or that just, it boggles the mind. It's confusing on what you meant to. I know it's not real, I understand it, but you know, if you watch a film, you want the storylines to make sense. And number 1, as I mentioned at the start, 205 Live. It's hard to watch. It really is hard to watch. Also, sorry about all the M's. I'm trying to cut them out. Yeah. Sorry, you're gonna get M's. Just watching it, it's hard to watch. The matches, obviously the in-ring action's okay, but I'll just go by the first 3 matches you had. I can't remember his name, is it Tawasa or something like that? I'm butchering his name. Versus Tony Nese. They're having an okay match. Again, it's the same with the Cruiserweights. Back in the day in WWE, when in 2002, they're not as high flying, as exciting as WCW was. Again, with these Cruiserweights, it's not really fast paced. They're just smaller wrestlers, that's all it is. But again, the ending of the match was Brian Kendrick getting involved, and I think it was the same thing but the opposite end last week. It just seems none of the matches end. None of the matches seem to end just a 1, 2, 3 in the ring, and great. I don't understand it. It's this shaking of the hand at the start of the match, but every match ends with somebody screwing somebody over, so I don't understand why you'd want to shake the person's hand the next week. And then you had this Alicia Fox thing, which is annoying. Maybe Vince likes her kicking off or something like that, but it's really annoying. Then they've turned Daivari into this balling Dubai kind of lookalike person, and then there's a guy who came out who's doing the right to censor gimmick with the no-fly zone. That was awful. Just the last match was okay, but the fans are just so bored after watching 2 hours of SmackDown and then 45 minutes of that crap that when Austin Aries and TJ Perkins tried to put on a decent match, they're just not interested. So yeah, that is my bottom 5 of the week. If you've got a different bottom 5, please comment below. But these are my bottom 5. Right, let's go to the top 5. Number 5. I'm going to go with Charlotte and Naomi on SmackDown. I don't think Charlotte can have a bad match with anyone. And Naomi's a great athlete, but I don't think she's coming along really well, but she's not at that thing where she's going to be in charge of a match. She's not at a Sasha Banks level or a Bayley level. And Charlotte got a brilliant match out of her, and I thought it was really entertaining. So yeah. Also, I love Naomi's entrance. I think Naomi's entrance is the best thing the best entrance in WWE at the minute. Right, number 4. Once again, going to a women's match, which was on Raw. Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax versus Mickie James versus Sasha Banks. It was a number 1 contenders match. Again, really nice match. I enjoyed the story of the match. I've watched so many wrestling matches. I kind of knew what was going to happen in the end, but it was Alexa Bliss avoiding Nia Jax for most of the match, and then when Nia Jax hit the big move at the end for the win, Alexa Bliss snuck in, got her out the ring and nicked her win. I just thought, yeah, it's a classic story, but it works. It worked in that concept, and I thought it was a really good match. Number 3, another match which was on NXT, a cage match between Ty Dillinger and Eric Young. One of the things I gotta say, when first Eric Young came out with this Sanity group, I just saw Wyatt family all over it and didn't really see how they're gonna go from NXT to SmackDown or Raw. I think they'd go to SmackDown, but I didn't see how they were gonna go from that to one of the main shows when the Wyatt family existed, but they've come. It's not. Now I'm watching them more. It's not like a Wyatt family thing. I think all 3, including the girl who's in, which is Nikki Cross, I think it is. They've got their own elements. All of them have got their own thing going on. Although they all dress the same, you can tell they've all got their own separate personalities. The cage match itself, it had its high spots. Even Eric Young got a bit of blood, which I was surprised. I know it was probably an accident, but it was a good match. I enjoyed it. A nice kind of match if it's Ty Dillinger's last match. Right, number 2, which if you saw last week, I think these 2 were in my bottom 5. But it was the promo of The Miz versus Dean Ambrose. I thought it was entertaining because there was a lot of truth in there when they were talking to each other. It was kind of a shoot slash, I'm not going to say shoot, but kind of a promo where they were both saying stuff that, you know, a lot of people say about him. Dean Ambrose not seeming like he cares, which he doesn't. He's too jokey. Dean Ambrose got a good few there was comedy in there with Ambrose. Miz's promos where he's talked. Miz's promos lately where he gets really deep and truthful with the person who he's jousting with. Have been really good. So yeah, those 2 went from my bottom 5 into my top 5 this week at number 2, and then number 1 again. Braun Strowman, who was in my bottom 5 last week with that over the top attack. I never thought I'd enjoy a match with the Big Show again, but I really enjoyed the main event of Raw with Braun versus Big Show. Both men putting a lot of effort. The exploding ring, I'm really not a fan of. We've seen it before. As soon as you saw him going up for the air suplex, you knew what was going to happen. But I enjoyed their match before the exploding ring. I really enjoyed it. It kind of had a pace to it, which you don't really see in big man matches. A lot of stuff that you wouldn't see, like Braun jumping off, I think it was the top rope, and he got knocked out, and then he was hitting drop kicks. Big Show looks really good for saying his age. I know he's lost a lot of weight, but yeah, I really enjoyed that match, and that's my top number 1 for the week. So these are my top 5. So yeah, those are my top and bottom 5 for the week. If you've got your own top 5 or your bottom 5 for the week in WWE just gone, please comment below, and please bear with me as I make these WWE vlogs and better. I'm working on them each week, trying to improve them. This is my third one in of my top and bottom fives. So please comment below if you enjoyed it. Please share it with your friends and see if they want to get involved. And yeah, if you're not already subscribed, please subscribe. My normal videos are daily vlogs about me and vlogs about eBay and reselling. So thank you very much for listening, watching. I'll see you next week. Bye.